As we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we are back after a short hiatus due to some health issues. And in case you forgot, this is This Week Unloaded here on the Unloaded Media Channel. And tonight we have with us first Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. Good to see everybody.
Good to have you. Next we have Mr. G23 all the way from Oregon. How are you tonight?
Not too bad, I guess.
All right. And then next we have Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast, proprietor of some little company that makes AR-15 stands. How are you tonight?
That BRNL display is doing well. Thanks for having me. Glad you finally blew the dust off this show.
Man, I have not been in the best of health the past couple weeks. Well, you already know because we talked about it before after Rick's show last weekend. So,
Don't forget, he does Glock displays also, and his secret love of Glocks is showing.
No, he's just giving the people what they ask for. He had requests for it, and unlike some companies like Glock, he gives the people what they want.
Have Glock.
Touche.
Hey, he decided that he wanted a Glock sticker, and so he went after it hardcore on Gizzard's show last night. We all know.
Nah, that was all
Sell
about
out.
the chicken, man. All about the chicken.
He was wanting
Sell
that
out.
chicken. Was Rob just racist against himself?
No, I just like chicken. Shit. Free chicken? I don't give a shit what color you are. That's a good deal. Better than a
I'd go
damn
for free
sticker.
chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, we're off to a good start already. So, other than the 800-pound gorilla that was been in the room all week, it seems, what else are we going to talk about tonight?
All right, you guys met my sister?
I hope not.
She's twice the woman you are.
Yeah. Trouble comes by the pound.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm one drink in.
Are you sure it's only one?
Yeah, it's been a while though.
Yeah, it's been 5 or 6 hours since the last one.
No, it's been weeks.
On which calendar? Gregorian or Roman?
The Mayan.
Mayan, yeah, the Aztec calendar. Oh no, it'd be easy to confuse the days because I tell you, man, the last week for me has felt like a month. It seems like, man.
Rob's drinking Mexican pea water disguised as beer.
Oh, you drinking Corona?
Yeah.
Oh man, I just don't like that stuff. Ugh, tastes funny.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You know that's not actually the vaccine, right?
Hey, you can believe whatever you want to believe. Been working fine.
You drinking that straight, or you got a lime in it?
Straight.
Yeah.
Lime takes time. I'm drinking by myself, so I don't need all that.
Not only is he drinking Corona, but he's doing it as a heathen.
You have no taste, man. And I don't mean it like your choice. I mean you have no taste buds.
He may have the Corona, man. You can't taste that shit.
You're just jealous.
No wonder he eats so much salad, man. Because he can't taste it.
My beer has a palm tree on the label. Don't be mad.
My beer has a crown on it. The king of beers.
Ah, so you're working for the queen and king over there, huh? That's what's going on?
I didn't know
He is a
Miller had
red
a
coat.
crown on him. I didn't know Miller had a crown on the label. I have to look closer.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, baby.
So you broke into roll calls and stole his PBR stash?
I may have drank a few PBRs in my lifetime, man. Not my preferred choice, but a good friend, a drinking buddy, that was his preferred beer. And when he shopped for beer, he shopped for cases at a time. So
I
you, you,
honestly,
you know how you always run out and got to borrow a beer. You know what I mean? Things
yeah,
happen.
I honestly cannot remember ever having a PBR. Yeah, where I was growing up, and then when I was in my 20s and stuff in Pittsburgh, it was always people were always had Iron City, which was the local brewery, Miller, Budweiser, or something from Coors. Those were the big four beers, and you didn't see very many people with PBR in Pittsburgh.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, man, it's pretty good if you start out drinking something else.
So it's good for when you're already drunk, just to keep going.
Yeah, if you run out, you'll drink anything out with it. But if you wanted to start out with Pabst Blue Ribbon, it might cure you from being an alcoholic.
No, that was Milwaukee's best. Oh my god, that
That's how I feel about Guinness. Oh,
Natty
God.
Light.
Yeah, I'm not a Guinness drinker. I tried Guinness once and was like, oh my god, this is god awful.
You had to pay me to drink that shit.
Guinness
Friend
and a shot of whiskey. Irish.
A friend of mine who was Irish, he's like, yeah, you gotta try this Guinness, mate. Oh my god, no, I don't want that.
Now it's got to at least be I just want a normal regular beer. I don't know, an American beer. I'll drink a Coors, a Budweiser, anything. I can't stand Bud Light. I don't want any light. But just give me a normal American name brand beer that ain't, bottom of the basket. Just give me something across the middle. I'm good with that, man. But I don't like stuff that's funny or flavored or foreign or anything like that. I just don't ever go for none of that.
I'll tell you what.
What about Yingling?
I've never had a Yingling.
There's nothing wrong with Yingling. Yingling's pretty good.
I see it advertised everywhere around here.
A good dark beer is Australian black beer, but you can hardly ever find it in the U.S. That is extremely hard to find. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, but it's a dark ale, and it's pretty good.
Aussie Black.
Yeah, on Oscar, yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the brand that my one friend used to get every so often, and when he would find it, but man, that stuff was pretty good. It looks like Guinness, but doesn't taste anything like Guinness.
You should try some Black Butte Porter from Deschutes Brewery.
I haven't really drank beer in years. Closest I've been drinking the beer anymore is like a Mike's Hard Lemonade, which is basically it's a type of malt liquor.
I had a lot of friends give up beer, man, and they drink this twisted tea.
Yeah,
Kept in great big cans.
Yeah, that's supposed to taste like iced tea. I haven't had one yet, but Mike's Hard Lemonade's really good.
I've tasted
that lemonade give you heartburn, man. Some of that lemonade stuff give you heartburn. So
the Mike's is really good. It doesn't. I've never gotten heartburn from drinking the Mike's. And the the black cherry one, it tastes like black cherry soda. It's really good stuff.
Yeah. I still stick to Pepsi most of the time, though.
And let's see who we got out there in the chat so far. Well, Jason, you're out there and in here. MKJO's out there, and Stan from SS Ponds out there. And he says he's a specular root beer kind of guy. Root beer, yeah, I can go for root beer. Root beer's good. We got the IBC is really good. I love me some IBC root beer and cream soda. Their cream soda is really good too.
Yeah, we got good root beer here. It's called Stewart's root beer.
Yeah, we get that. We get the Stewart's, and then we get Kutztown or something like that. I can never remember the name of it. I don't think we have any out in the fridge right now, but it's Pennsylvania company, and they use like real sugar and stuff in it, and it comes in like a 24-ounce bottle instead of a 20-ounce bottle. It's really good stuff. I've talked about that on the show before. I think Squib actually had some that he picked up when he was in Pennsylvania the last time. Yeah, so Squib knows about it.
We got
It's Barks. Barks has bite.
Barks is Coke's root beer.
We got a Stewart's root beer here. It's kind of like an IHOP or whatever. I mean, it's been here though, like from the 50s, man. Like you pull up outside, and the menu's there, and you flip a metal toggle switch and tell them what you want. They bring your order out and put it on your car window for you and stuff. They got pretty good food, man. Just burgers, French fries, stuff like that. But you get like fresh homemade root beer from inside there, and it's great. You can take it home in like the gallons.
Yeah, is that like the same company that does the glass bottled Stewart's sodas that you buy in the supermarket?
Well, yeah, it's the same
Probably.
thing. This is like I'm sure this stand here is like independently owned or whatever. It's very old. It's not like a major $1 million corporation owns it, but it's all Stewart's and the Stewart's root beer. But it's still original, man. It's the way it hasn't changed a bit the entire life that I've been alive. Same parking slot, same spaces, same everything, man. Girls come out, bring your tray, put it on your window.
We have Stewart's like convenience stores or gas stations, but they're not. Nobody brings anything out to you. But they have awesome food, great cookies, donuts, like ice cream. They make their own ice cream brands. It's like extra cream though, like heavy. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the ice cream. Other people swear by it, but it depends how creamy, I guess, you like it. They do like an extra cream, like they a lot of stuff. Actually, 4th of July at a gas station next to us was a Stewart's, and I was thrilled. So great food in those places as far as gas stations are concerned. Our convenience stores, whatever.
MKGO wants to know if they're on roller skates too, Jason, or if they're just walking.
Oh, they just walk now. I believe years ago they did do roller skates. It's just a kind of place like that. Like I'm telling you, like the it hasn't been remodeled like ever. It's still the same little parking spaces, little triangle roofs, little setups that it's always been, man. I love their sandwiches. They're only open during the summertime, though. They're closed during the winter here.
Yeah, we got ice cream places around here like that. They'll only be open during the summer, then they close. Like a couple weeks after Labor Day, they'll close down. Between Labor Day and October, which sucks because their stuff's really good. The one closed permanently. They because they're like on little trailers, like a food trailer
Food
kind of
truck,
thing. Yeah. The one closed down permanently, and they sold the trailer. Their ice cream was really good, but they went out of business, which sucks. They couldn't get anybody to work the place because the college, when COVID was going on, was shut down. So, and that's where they got all their employees from. They employed to work the cart and stuff. They were all these college students, and because they had a thing with the university where they would apply at the university itself, and then one of those kind of situations. So when the college was closed down, their employee base dried up.
Speaking of jobs, I'm not exactly sure where in New York, but somewhere in New York, hospital posted in the next 2 weeks they won't be able to do any maternity, basically nothing to do with birthing, because they won't have the staff due to the people leaving. Basically, they're not going to. Enough of them are leaving that they just can't. They're going to have to send people off to somewhere else. Basically, don't come here. Is what they're saying in 2
That's
weeks.
terrible.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, there is a nursing shortage nationwide because of when you had all the hospitals shutting down their elective procedures and stuff. They started furloughing nurses. There's a hospital in Florida, the Miami area, that Steven Crowder was talking about it on his show on Thursday, I believe it was, where they're offering $100 an hour for registered nurses to come work there.
How much an unregistered nurse get paid?
That's crazy. They're paying.
I'll go help out for $75.
That's the crazy part. They're offering the nurses more money than what they're paying their doctors that are on internships right now at that hospital. The doctors that are on internships, they get paid salary, but if you average their salary out to the number of hours worked, they're getting about $75 an hour. They're offering registered nurses $100 an hour for the first 36 hours. Anything over 36 is overtime at double pay. So if you work, all your overtime hours are at $200 an hour. That's crazy money.
Locally, we know somebody in my lady's family that works at ICU at a local hospital here, and they've had issues for a while. Nothing to do with beds or nothing like that. It's all due to staff. Basically, since all this started, people have just been dropping off.
Yeah.
And vacations were caught, all types of stuff over this last period, in a sense, where now they're expecting more and more of the people that are there, trying to expect more and more. So it doesn't surprise me that they're offering more money, because people are saying no. From what she's telling us, like, about half the people here, just aren't with, being forced to get that shot. So, not stating half are going to leave, or total, pre to after, that they're going to be down half staff. I couldn't speak for that, but that's the local word. So I'd expect it to be, probably the same across all different things, as far as industry, auto, products, food, probably everything.
Yeah, the dialysis unit my wife works in, they just got back up to being fully staffed like a month ago. And if Hogan pushes through a vaccine mandate where everybody has to get vaccinated, they're looking for the staff to drop below what's required again. Because half the people or more that work at the hospital my wife works at said if they have to get the vaccine, they're walking out.
Yeah, similar here from what I heard, but what people say and what they do, it's yet to be the same.
Considering what we're seeing already with healthcare, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if that happens. We've already seen it with Corona when their nurses and stuff are walking out. It's already been happening. So if they're saying they're going to walk out because they have to get the vaccine, I'm going to believe them.
Can they strike? Are they in like some kind of medical union or anything?
Nope.
I would assume because it's approved, they probably can't do much, as far as with the union. I would assume, but I have no idea.
I know they're going to, he said that, and they're going to force it on these companies. But look, everybody and their brother's already lined up. It's going to go through court before it ever goes into effect.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle fighting it in court. If you go back to the Spanish flu pandemic way back in 1918, there was a Supreme Court ruling on the books saying that the federal government and the president, under his executive emergency powers, can mandate a vaccine. It happened back then during the Spanish flu, and there are studies that have shown that the vaccine that they had at the time actually made the Spanish flu worse. And we're kind of seeing that with COVID right now.
They actually shot people in the street in New York City for not being masked. On record. You can look it up. Not now, back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
come on.
Give
Now.
them a couple
They do
months,
that
they'll be
too
doing it
now.
again.
Yeah, probably now, but it's not highlighted under the same way.
What Biden's doing now is not without precedent. It happened so long ago that people don't know that it happened. Everybody knows about the Spanish flu, but they don't know what actions were taken to combat it. And one of the things they did was force vaccinations all the way back then, and it made things worse.
You would think we would learn from our mistakes.
You would think that, but obviously, I mean, there's ample amount of proof in the history books to show that doesn't always work that way. You would think that Biden would have learned from what happened during the fall of Saigon about how to properly pull out of the military from a country, but you would be wrong to think that too. So.
Well,
I seen a documentary last night.
See, they didn't screw Afghanistan up, man. This is exactly how Biden and everybody wanted it to happen. He didn't just flub it up. People knew better and probably mentioned, hey, this is wrong, and they were told to shut up. This was done exactly the way they wanted it, and it played out in the news exactly the way they wanted it. So that's just how it is. It's not a total screw up. He did it on purpose.
Seen a documentary last night. It was playing in the background. I think it was like PBS or something like that. Man, were they spreading it on thick, let me tell you. But they showed Biden, basically giving a speech stating as a senator that, we need to go in. He believes they have weapons of mass destruction and all this 20 years ago, regarding around 9/11 and whatnot. And it is a night and day difference looking at him then, how he speaks, his pattern, the pace of it. Then he looks like a guy that was with it. Probably crooked as shit, but with it. But he is not the person he was. I think that is 100% clear just by seeing that clip just last night. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. It's a shame that that's the representation of our country.
His brain's all ate up on crack like his fucking son, man.
Yeah, I got into it with somebody in the comment section on a YouTube video. I forget which one it was or what channel it was on, but he was trying to defend Biden with the pullout and everything, and he's like, this wasn't Biden's war, and this was blah, blah. I was like, dude, you realize Biden was partly responsible for the war in Afghanistan from what his time in the Senate as the majority whip, or the minority whip, excuse me. It's like, it was one of his jobs was to go around and make sure that everybody was going to vote for the war. Don't give me this shit. Biden's not responsible for the war in Afghanistan, you dumbass. God damn, people, they don't understand how government works.
It was funny in that same documentary. They had Colin Powell speaking, and he was explaining how he was basically told he was to be the salesman of this war. because he's credible and will be listened to. It's just hilarious how they go through these things and tell you stuff like that, but yet a lot of people still think it's for your best interest. Blows my mind.
Oh, Gary's out there now. Evening, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
It's all.
Wow, Midnight's getting ready to go live early.
Or he might just send his links out early too. He's done that before.
I just got the half-hour warning.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked, I didn't get no links. So yeah, wow.
I don't know. It just popped up from the YouTube thing that he's going live in a half hour.
It's fast food tonight.
Maybe he's got a special guest on or something where he's got to go early.
I saw a show was advertised. I think he's going to talk about home catering or something.
Yeah. Introduction to home catering or something like that. Anyway. Tips for home catering, and yeah, it's scheduled for 10 o'clock. Huh. Well, I wonder if he screwed up, or if he's got some special guest or something.
He probably screwed the pooch.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Introduction to swinging.
Gary says, or maybe he just wants to get to bed at a decent hour.
Nobody.
Oh yeah, he was talking about that. He was talking about that last week. Was that since he's gonna have to start doing like breakfast shifts, and with the kid going back to school, he may start doing his shows a little earlier than normal so that he can get up early.
Great. So not only do I got to compete with the Scotsman, I'm going to have to compete with pancakes too.
Sounds like you're stuck in the middle, Rich.
I already was. Now it's even more so.
Now you can just be the jelly in between.
Clowns to the left of me and jokers to the right. It's like, Jesus Christ.
The heat is on.
And I'm just stuck in the middle with you guys.
Do you guys get out shooting lately?
I've been on 14-day quarantine. I haven't done shit.
I ain't done
You
shit.
ever get any compensation for that? Your whole 14 days with 3 negative tests and no freaking paycheck.
Gary says he has to compete with Yankee on Friday nights. You know what, Gary? It might be a good thing that Yankee's on Friday nights, because I don't know if you would want some of those people that he gets in his chats. It's some real crazy people in there.
Hell, I used to be the only one on Saturday. Now there's like friggin' 35 shows on Saturday. So it is what it is.
So that's a no.
Nobody with any respect would watch Yankee over Gizzard Gary.
Yeah, funny
Only
enough,
one of them gives out chicken.
Yeah, funny enough, G23 Saturday used to be my time slot before before everybody moved, before Tardot and Gunpowder moved, and before we moved. The Saturday night schedule was Tardot show, then there was a half hour to an hour break, and then it was my show after his show. And it was basically parts 1 and 2 because most of the time the panel that was on Tardot's show was the panel that was on my show. So we put a break period in there, and that's when we lived down in the other house. So Tardot was actually doing the actual physical hosting using his internet because mine sucked to hell and back.
It's all right. You guys vacated Saturday, leaving Zach Saturday as a void, and so I filled it, and then like shit, you got like massive people doing Saturday shows now. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'll keep doing mine.
I was just doing the history. I mean, Saturdays always had something. There's always been something on Saturday. It's like as soon as somebody vacates, somebody else takes over. So, I mean, I got a
Plus,
show back on
different strokes
Saturday.
for different folks.
Yeah,
People can always go back, surf through, and catch one later, this or that. So, sitting in an exact time frame, I just don't see working for everybody. Maybe everybody's just sitting around doing nothing all day, but I assume, a lot of you guys got a life, at least some kind of life you got to, work around. So I got no problem personally going back through like I did with DM Foss. I'm not up at 4 a.m. usually. So, that's what time the show's on here, but watch the replay today. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's a problem.
Speaking of
You
DM
guys all
Foss,
worry about it, but I don't think it's a problem.
speaking of Foss, did you guys see his 15-second little video that he put out? That's got 67,000 views and 3.5 thousand friggin' thumbs up.
Check it out. When did you do it? Just lately?
Yeah, it's just been lately. It's just flying. He's now up at like 525 subscribers.
I'm gonna have to check my subscribers because I did not get any notifications or anything lately from him, so I might not. I might have been unsubscribed. No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's called what was it?
Why Biden should not be impeached.
Yep. Why Biden should not be impeached.
110K 14 hours ago. Knock that one out of the park.
Yeah, when I saw it, there was 67,000 and like 3.5 thousand thumbs up.
Oh, I have to check that out. Could be a double-edged sword. YouTube got their eye on you now, man. They'll cancel you for the first thing they can.
Yeah, right. You just became the nail that stuck out.
YouTube likes going back and giving people strikes for things they had done 3-4 years ago too. The one channel I watched that Kingpin and I have talked about that where he goes into the history of Islam and stuff and Act 17 apologetics. He just had to fight 2 channel strikes for videos that he did like 3 or 4 years ago. They just hit him with strikes on it this past week. Saying that he was recruiting for a violent organization because he was talking about ISIS in the video.
Yeah, well, once you watch that 15-second video, you'll completely understand what it is. So,
doesn't like the Taliban have TikTok and all that shit?
They were. I thought they were banned on TikTok, but they definitely have Twitter.
They have Twitter, Facebook, don't they? YouTube. It's not right to ban people on social media, man.
That's we can't show a gun, huh?
And yet I got friggin' kicked off Facebook and IG for violating community standards. Well, my IG page was collateral damage because it was linked to my Facebook page, and they nailed my Facebook page.
Another channel that I watched, living history comes alive. He had his 9/11 video taken down because they said it was promoting violence and terror.
I considered making one, but I figured they'd do something like that.
Yeah, I bet if you made some videos on like how great Biden is and how it's not his fault and he's going to be the best ever, he'd probably have like millions of views, and you could probably just bullshit every bit of it, be a lie and stuff, and they'd never get you for like misinformation or nothing.
There is a channel out there where all they do is play this. It's a homosexual channel. All they do on this channel is play this dick or dildo game where the guy has to guess whether his boyfriend, I guess you could say, is using a dildo on him or doing it the old fashioned way. And that channel is perfectly fine. In fact, at one point, it was considered child friendly.
And you watch this channel? Why?
I don't watch it. I know about the channel because of Steven Crowder. When he was talking about the things being child friendly or not,
Sure.
he did a whole episode on things being child friendly or not, and he was showing a clip from this channel where it wasn't showing anything overly explicit in the clip he showed, but this is what they do on that channel, and it was considered at the time child friendly. It's since been had its child friendly status taken from it, but the channel is still on YouTube where you're not supposed to do any kind of sexually explicit stuff on YouTube. This channel is okay by YouTube's trust and safety team.
They have naked yoga on YouTube. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Yeah. Well, that's yoga, man. That's not sexually explicit. And I'm saying that with air quotes.
I didn't know there was naked anything on YouTube.
Oh, there is.
They got naked girls shooting guns.
Yeah, they may if you dig deep enough. I haven't looked.
No, that's not
Jason's
allowed.
gotta go.
Yeah, you might be able to find that on Pornhub, Jason.
Oh no, it's got to be on YouTube. Cause see, I was gonna go start a new channel.
Well, hell, you got people starting channels on Pornhub all the time that aren't pornography. InRange TV, last I looked, still had their Pornhub channel.
You could always start an Only's page there, Jason.
I was gonna get me 3 chicks in the background like Charlie's Angels, but I was gonna give them all an Altor.
Snob might sue you for infringement.
You don't want to keep them employed for long, obviously.
Well, I don't want them to hurt each other either.
Yeah. We got Stacy in here. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
What's going on, Mystic?
Oh, not much. Hanging out.
You all alone, or you got a Snob with you?
Clover says the OnlyFans doesn't allow nudity anymore. Nope, they backtracked on that. They changed their minds. They were talking about that on Crowder. I think it was Crowder, or it might not have been Crowder. It was on one of the channels I was watching. They were talking about that, how they went and changed their mind and they're not going to stop doing the nudity thing anymore. They got too many complaints from the creators on the channel, and they realized they were going to lose a lot of money if they did. So the dollar has spoken, and OnlyFans, as of the last I heard, is not going to be getting rid of the nudity thing.
Man, I was going to do an OnlyFans, but, now there's no point.
What is an OnlyFans?
It's a website where people go and they put stuff on there, and they get paid by subscribers to view whatever they put on there.
It's not YouTube?
No, it's not YouTube.
Oh, okay.
What he's asking is it sexual content?
Whatever you want, but a lot of it is sexual content.
Okay, so he might still be interested, right,
Yeah,
Jason?
it's not explicitly for sexual content, but there's a lot of people that that's what they put up there.
Okay,
I'm just messing.
they want pay, but do I have to pay?
I don't know. I don't have an OnlyFans page. I couldn't tell you how that works. You'd have to find out for yourself.
It's like a quarter slot, but with a card, right?
Your screen goes blank if you throw a quarter in, it goes back up.
Couldn't tell you how it works. I have no clue.
When's the last time you guys seen one of those beds that vibrate at a hotel?
I've actually never seen one. You see,
really?
Movies and stuff. Yeah, none of the motels or hotels I've ever been to had one.
I'm a little more high
That's
class.
always a motel,
I
I think.
Yeah. I've seen them in a hotel, but you didn't have to put any money in them. They just had a timer knob built right in the wall.
How long ago you think that was?
Quite a while. It's been like probably 10, 15 years since I've seen one.
I was going to say about the same, 10, 15 years. The heart-shaped bathtubs.
Yeah, now I've seen those. There's a caverns that's not too far from here, and they have part of the property. They have like those honeymoon cabin things, and they have the heart-shaped tubs in them. Right there in the bedroom.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah, it's a heart-shaped jacuzzi right there in the bedroom.
Yeah,
right at the
send
foot
me
of
the address.
He really wants the vibrating bed.
Yeah, there's a phone app controls the bed now.
Yeah, they didn't have the vibrating beds, but the beds were like heart-shaped. It was a heart-shaped bed with a heart-shaped jacuzzi at the foot of the bed. Or the point, I guess you could say, since it was heart-shaped. So if you were looking down on it, it was a big heart with a little heart underneath it, basically.
And all because I told Jason that he needed to start an OnlyFans page.
Mm-hmm.
I second that.
Anyone in MKJ, let us know if anyone still uses waterbeds. I haven't seen a waterbed since the 80s, man.
Nah, it's been a little while. I had to give a waterbed. My spine can't take that, man. I'd be crippled.
I had one up to 96.
Waterbed.
The last person I knew that had a waterbed was back in the 80s.
Couldn't you just put more water in it to stiffen it up in a sense, but you're worried about your back?
I just don't sleep.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
Yeah, it's been since the 90s, but I was so glad when we got rid of the one we had.
No, because you put
the only thing that was nice about it is that you could heat it.
Yeah, oh boy, that sucked when that heater go bad. Oh man.
Well,
No, what
freezing
sucks is when
the side stinging. It was so cold.
What sucks is when the friggin' mattress pops a hole.
That's why the person that had the waterbed got rid of it. It was my uncle's stepdaughter. She had the waterbed, and he was furious because the cat popped the damn waterbed.
I believe that. Had a cat destroy a damn air mattress once.
He's like, "You are not getting another goddamn waterbed."
Yeah, they suck too, man, because you can't like rearrange stuff all the time. You're kind of like stuck with it sitting right there.
Waterbeds were great for, put some baby oil on the mattress.
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
Yeah, we ain't going there. Come on now.
Man, your knees just kept bumping into the boards.
Yeah, your knees go straight through that, man. Right to the framework.
You start talking about baby oil on mattresses. Next thing you know, you got Vanessa Kitty out in the chat talking about street cones? No, we ain't going there. Hey, Squibby.
Oh, don't put traffic cones back in this conversation.
Mario Mosen's out there now. Well, I said that because I was seeing if she would say anything because she's out there in the YouTube chat. So I was trying to get her to get, see if she would respond to that, because that was a crazy night when that was going on. The infamous Japanese food episode.
Hey, Squid.
Hey,
What's the picture you have going on there?
that's a death probe.
Oh, is that a Star Wars thing?
$6 million man.
Oh,
Remember when he fought the death probe? Then he fought the death probe again?
no, but I'll investigate that. I just
Colonel
blew it up,
Steve-
made it bigger, so I could see what it is.
No, Ozzy, no, nobody said that. So, no, absolutely not.
What did Ozzy say? I can't see the
Squid?
chat.
We lost Squid.
I thought it was one of them. Remember the Star Wars when they was in the snow, had the
On Hoth.
battle towers or whatever with cannons on them when the walkers was coming? That's what it looked like to me. I'm sorry, I didn't know the $6 million man had a
See,
tank
you
fight.
offended Squibby so much you left. You made Squib rage quit because you didn't know what he was showing you in his avatar.
I can't offend Squib. Something happened, he'll be back.
But as far as what Ozzy said, just don't worry about it. G23. You're better
The funny
off not
thing
knowing.
is, I said that to the wife when she said waffles at Fred Meyer's earlier.
I quit watching this $6 million man. When he married Farrah Fawcett, she broke my heart.
Gary said that our friend Corn Pop hasn't been around today. Hope he's okay. Mario says that he loves Fred Myers. And Snob says, oh, hell, I was going to watch, but Giz and Mystic, I'm out.
I just assume he'd leave anyways.
Well, you know he won't ever use his link. I mean, he's too good to come in here
What
unless
is
he's stealing your link.
what is Fred Myers?
Store, I guess.
Is
Okay,
it just
so
like
Fred
regular
Myers-
Myers? Is it like regular Myers?
He's
So you got
Michael's
Fred
cousin.
Meyer's, which is also like Kroger, which is also QVC, which is, that's just different stores under the same brand. It's kind of like Publix or Piggly Wiggly or Winco.
So it's a local grocery store chain, in other words.
It's national. I mean, you can find Kroger's all over the
Yeah, I
country.
mean, but the Fred Myers name itself.
Well, it's kind of like, over on the East Coast, you have Hardee's. Over here on the West Coast, you have Carl's Jr.
Right.
And so it's the same.
But
It's
the
the
name.
same place. It's just
The name is regional. Is what I'm saying.
But like Mario says, it's a pretty much a one-stop shop. You've got clothing there, you've got beds there, you've got furniture, you've got auto supply. They used to have firearms.
So
They've
we got
got
Myers here. It's kind of like a nicer Walmart, basically.
yeah. I mean, they've got an electronics department. They've got food, and they even got a gas station.
Yeah, the Walmart here's got a gas station. That's where my wife gets the gas because it's the cheapest gas station around here.
And then if you want another comparison, it's like Kingpin's favorite. You got Best Foods on the West Coast. You got Hellman's over on the East Coast.
What? You guys ain't got a sack and save?
Nope.
You got to bag it up yourself? Oh.
Yeah, we have a place that's called Thunderbirds that is that way. You have to bag your own groceries.
No, we ain't got any place like that here. We actually have supermarkets that still have baggers.
Well, back in the day, you actually had to bag your own groceries. Then they hired people to bag it for you. And then now there's certain stores that actually have you bag your own, you know, if you want, or they have people that will bag it for you also.
Yeah, Gary says that the Aldi's where he's at, you got to bag your own stuff. The Aldi's are that's just north of here on across the Maryland border. The cashiers bag everything.
We got a grocery store here. I think it's, oh shit, what was I called? It's not Sack and Save or this. It's Food Town. Food Town. But everybody here calls it the ghetto market. And I don't know why. It's not really like in a ghetto or anything like that. But they call it the ghetto market. And they'll even ask you, hey man, you know where the ghetto market's at? And I'll be like, yeah. And they'll be like, oh, something's on sale there or whatever. But yeah, it's a smaller chain. It's not like a national chain, and you can like pretty much really get the best meat there compared to like Kroger's or Walmart or something.
Yeah, he said at the Aldi where he's at, you have to bring your own bags and boxes. The store doesn't provide any.
Yeah, we got that. We got all these here. The one we used to have like Sack and Save, they had the brown bags, but you had to buy the bags. So like when you were at there and she was bringing all the food up, you had to tell her like 4 or 5 bags or whatever, and they charged you something stupid like 9 cents a piece or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
out
said
here
the
in Oregon, they've done away with plastic bags, and it's a nickel a bag. Unless you're on food stamps, and then you get them for free.
Apply
Oh,
for
that's
welfare,
nice. We're
man.
supposed to eat the bag.
You've been out of work for 14 days. Go apply for welfare.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, Gary says even the Dollar General has a self checkout now. Yeah, not here. They got 2 registers and they only have 1 open at any given time.
You don't go to Dollar General here unless you want to get robbed. Well, actually, not you get robbed, but the store will get robbed.
You can't go 3 miles around here without coming across a Dollar General. They're everywhere.
Yeah, them fools went and built one right on like the very, 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 very edge of town, but not like in like the shopping mall areas, like in the housing areas. So like it gets robbed all the time. You hear it on the scanner all the time. They can leave out the front and be gone. I mean, they can shoot down the road real quick and turn down any number of roads and just be gone. You'll never know which direction they went.
When Kingpin and I were coming back from DC for the 2A rally, if you were here, he could back me up on this because, well, we've talked about it on the show before. There was a Dollar General that they built in the middle of a cow pasture. There was nothing else around. It was just a Dollar General in the middle of the cow pasture.
Well, hey man, cows got the right to shop too, man. Just wait, they'll build a Dollar General right next to it because they do that shit here too, man. I mean, like right next to it. I mean, almost parking lots will be touching.
Well, Greensburg, PA, back in '97, I think it was, they were building a McDonald's right next to a McDonald's. One was good. They were turning the one where it was dine-in only, and the other one was going to be the drive-through.
Damn.
Sounds about like McDonald's logic.
Man, I remember McDonald's when the sign said like over 60 million served or whatever. Now what is it? Billions?
Well, I think they stopped counting at 1 billion. It says over billions served now.
Yeah, I remember it was still like less than 100 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like that when I was a kid. All of a sudden, they started putting McDonald's everywhere because the Chinese market opened up, the Eastern European market opened up, and McDonald's sales numbers just soared through the roof. I mean, it wasn't like they were hurting before that, but when they got those two markets open to them finally, that was when you started seeing them rolling over 100, 200, 300, 400 million burgers sold at that point.
Oh, I see the child stops it. We used to have IGAs here. And we used to have a True Value. True Value, I used to love that store. That's where most people got, decent quality stuff from, man. You could get some good tools, good hammer, good stuff like that. I had a lot of bicycles as a kid, came from True Value. But
We still have True Values.
Lowe's came in here and it put our True Value out of business, and there was some like smaller local family hardware stores on the other part of town. Lowe's put everybody out of business here.
Yeah, Hancock, Maryland, which isn't that far from here, they used to have an IGA, and it had the True Value on one side. There was Snobbles, and on the other side was a mom and pop drugstore. The mom and pop drugstore was inside the IGA store. It wasn't actually owned by the store, but they didn't have their own pharmacy, so the owner of the pharmacy contracted out and was renting space inside the store from the owner of the supermarket.
Yeah, I was just going to mention True Value had a catalog. I used to remember that as a kid, but the Sears Catalog. Yeah, and we had like a Sears store where you went in and ordered and picked up your order, but they had some stuff there for sale.
Yeah, well, that was like that at all Sears stores. You could go into any Sears store and order something in store from the catalog.
Yeah, but we had one that like it wasn't like walking into Sears. There was like some tables with some stuff for sale, and it was just a catalog ordering kind of place. I mean, it wasn't a store to walk around and find clothes and jewelry and shoes. They had some like tables of like clearance item stuff, but something like a radio with a knob missing or something like that.
Yeah, we got a pretty decent Ace Hardware that's right down the street. It's over right on the other side of Walmart. So as you go past Walmart, and then there's Ace Hardware. And they got some good prices in there on stuff.
See, I don't like Ace Hardware here because the ones that I have to go to don't have good prices.
Yeah, no, the one here, they got decent prices on stuff. If you need to get something. It's the only real hardware store in town. It's in this area. So if you need something more, you got to go like to Cumberland to go to Lowe's, or Winchester to go to Home Depot or Lowe's.
So Githard said there was a store called Duckwall. What the hell was that?
I don't know. Oh, Radio Shack was awesome. Gary says
Oh yeah,
Radio
Radio
Shack
Shack.
was awesome. I miss Radio Shack. That was the go-to place to hang out. You go and play with the remote control cars, the radio kits, all that kind of stuff.
Snob's too young to know what a knob on a radio was. Well, he doesn't know what a boom blaster is, or dual cassette deck.
You know, the
The
snobs
boom
just playing
boxes?
dumb because they still had radios with knobs in the 90s. Um,
Like 6D batteries, man.
yeah,
Last you about 3 hours. No rewinding.
Snobs got the idea. Radio Shack in November, December was the greatest. Yeah, they have like those little radio controlled robots and stuff in there. Gary says Duck Walls was part of the Alco store chain. It's defunct now. Okay, what's Alco? Anybody have Alco when they were a kid? I have no idea what that is.
No, I never heard either one of those.
Sorry,
Is
I'm not older than the mountains.
it like something like Montgomery Ward or something like that?
No, we had Montgomery Ward.
No
Oh
idea.
yeah. There's a shopping center in Winchester. It's still the shopping center's still there. It's the Montgomery Ward Shopping Center. The main store in it used to be a Montgomery Ward, and they never changed the name of the shopping center itself, so it's still the Montgomery Ward Shopping Center. And then Montgomery Ward is kind of not there anymore.
Did you guys ever have a Lazarus?
No. Snub says Alco was kind of in between a Walmart and a Dollar General. So somewhere between a Walmart and a dollar store would be Alco. Gary says Alco was around until 2015. Never heard of it. No, never heard of it.
I heard of Alco, but I don't think it was a store. I'm thinking like the Alcoy. Alco. Yeah. The medical metal supplier, yeah.
Yeah. What was it, Illumina Company of America or something like that? That's what Alco stood for.
Alpo dog food.
Alpa. That's
Ooh,
all pro,
Alcoa.
man.
Yeah, Alcoa was big in the Pittsburgh area. They had on Mount Washington. There's this clock that's up there. The clock's still there, but the ownership's changed. It used to be owned by Alcoa. It would spell out the letters Alcoa on it, and it would like blink, and then it would show you what time it was at night. So you never, if you were outside in the city of Pittsburgh, you never had an excuse not knowing what time it was. You just had to look at the top of Mount Washington. And MKJO says Zayres. My mother used to work at Zayres, Allegheny Center Mall on the north side of Pittsburgh. That was years and years ago.
Here, we'll see how old everybody is. Did you ever have a TV set where the clicker was just a clicker?
Yep.
And it shot like a light beam at your TV?
Yep.
That was it. What were those?
No,
Yeah,
but I've seen
my
them.
parents had one of those when I was
Sky.
like real little.
Sky Command, something like that.
Zenith.
Yeah.
Zenith.
Then I thought we were big time when we got a TV that had a remote control, but
That
it
had
was
buttons?
on like a 20-foot long
Cable.
telephone cord.
Yep. I remember my grandparents had one of those. My mother and father had the light zapper based TV remote, and then my grandparents had the one with the real long cord.
Yeah, nice heavy brown plastic push button remote control. See, that was great because it worked.
Yeah,
The little clicker zapper, you couldn't be the kid on the floor watching TV, your head's in the way, it don't work, somebody's mad. And they got that one, man, it was like on a phone cord, and you just ran the cord around somewhere. That thing was awesome, man. Worked all the time. You could just sit there and, you only had like 12 channels to go through, but you start at one and go all the way through.
When cable TV boxes started going to having remote controls instead of the dial on the box, those were the kind that had the cable on them. Those before they got the infrared ones.
It's kind of like what Snob was saying. I remember back when I was the remote control and you had to go change 3 channels, and then you were hoping and praying you didn't have to mess with the antenna.
Yeah, well, that light zapper one, a lot of the time, the kids did end up being the remote still because, like Jason was saying, half the time those things didn't work for crap.
Shit, at my house, you wasn't allowed to touch the TV. You didn't touch that. That wasn't yours. They didn't yell at you to turn the channel. They put it on one channel for the night, and that's all it was. They felt like if you would go turn that channels too much or tune it too much, you might break it or something. It goes on that channel, leave it alone. Don't be touching that.
Yeah.
Used to get told don't be fiddling with that doohickey and don't be monkeying with that and all kinds of shit. You didn't touch that TV at all. They get madder than hell.
The only thing we were allowed to touch on the TV were the knobs that turned the channel. And if we got caught touching any of the knobs that adjusted Keller or anything, oh boy, were we in trouble.
Oh yeah, you didn't do that. They'd sit there and watch it. You know damn well yourself as a kid. I go up there and I could turn that ring a little bit and the picture will all be great, but they'll leave it there just a little bit screwed up out of thing, but they don't want you to touch it. Don't touch it. We'll just live with it.
Snob said they had a satellite dish where you had to go outside and crank it by hand to get it to change to where you could watch different blocks of TV channels. I guess that was before the motorized ones. My uncle had one of the old style dishes, but his was motorized, where when you change the channel, you could sit in the house and watch the satellite dish rotate to find the signal from the satellite.
So I remember when I had a little control of things. I was on my own, but hell, I remember we all had black and white TVs. Like you really didn't even have that many color. Like for you as a young person or your bedroom or whatever. But if you could get 2 TVs, like HBO was like channel 3 around here on the knob. You could get on channel 3 halfway and run some aluminum foil on the antenna, and you could tune and you could get the picture. And then you take another TV and turn it like all the way to 3 and tune it in, and you couldn't get picture, but you could get the sound. So between 2 TVs, you could get free HBO.
Rob, what are you guys doing playing in the road?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, you don't want to know.
Playing chicken.
Beer run.
I had a 20-inch black and white when I was in middle school and high school. I didn't have my own Keller TV until I moved out of the house.
Shit, we used to have a big TV. We used to have like a 20-inch color TV sitting inside like a 48-inch piece of wood. Old console TVs. Yeah, we had a lot of consoles that end up quit working, so the console still stays there for furniture, and you sit, like a 13, 19-inch on top of it.
Yeah, my grandfather took the old console TV that they had that broke. He took the CRT out of the broken console and turned that into a shelf where you could put the VCR and the cable box on and put the TV on top. Not the broken CRT, obviously, the new TV that they bought.
Rob, you're not supposed to use your camera when you're committing a crime.
Mm-hmm. That's called evidence, man.
Hopefully somebody's got bail money and close to New York.
You don't have to have bail money in New York.
No, they just let you out.
Yeah, it's free bail. Free bail in New York. That's racist,
Not
man.
for Rob.
That's racist. You can't have bail money.
Not for Rob. He has a permit, so they'll hold his ass.
Snuff said, "Oh snap! The black dude is chasing the white girl. Rob is about to get shot by the police."
That's a very good point. At least show something fun.
Gary says they watched NBC in his house on Sundays because that's when the Chiefs games were. If it was blacked out in Topeka, they would aim the antenna towards Pittsburgh, Kansas, not to be confused with Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, obviously, so we could pick up their signal. And if he was picking up Pittsburgh, PA signal in Kansas, then they're doing something. Yeah. And when I was a kid, it didn't matter. When we watched every channel, just depending on what was on. We would watch CBS, NBC, NBC. There was no like preferred channel.
There wasn't very many TV channel choices around here when I was a kid. Hell, we didn't even get. You could get cable, but still, you only had. I think we moved up to like 28 channels in the 90s, but it took till up into like the mid 90s for us to even get like MTV. You could get MTV if you went like down a town away from us and everywhere. But where the town I lived at, we didn't even have MTV till probably 92, 93.
And by that point, you weren't missing much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around 92, 93 where MTV started going downhill.
Yeah, it went downhill quick. Now you could. I lived in another town there, and we had MTV in like the late 80s. But I remember the first time I ever saw MTV. I was at way out of town. I was all the way down in like Dayton, Ohio, and very first video I ever saw on MTV was Rat Round and Round. And then like the second video, I think it was Chicago Stay the Night or whatever. But I was like, what's this MTV? What? And they're like, videos, man, music TV. What? You know what I mean? We ain't got that where I live. Let me see.
Radio
Like,
with pictures.
No shit. It's like music on the TV, man. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it was radio with pictures.
So that was probably like what, 1981, 1982 maybe?
God. It had to have been 80, 81 when MTV hit. And the first song, the first video they played was Video Killed the Radio Star.
Yep, video killed the radio star. That was an ominous song.
The band was what, the Buggles or something like that?
I don't remember. I was young. I was born in
Me too.
80.
I was born in 74, man.
I'm the second youngest on this panel.
Probably.
Yeah, MTV used to have Headbangers Ball, man.
Oh, yeah.
MTV Unplugged. And then, like in the 90s, it all got screwed. It turned into, MTV Spring Break, and then they started having like real world shows and stuff. Once they started having shows, it stopped being music videos anymore. It stopped being like top 10 videos and like videos all day long, and it just stopped. It started being shows.
Yeah. Guns and Barbecue said it was the Buggles. Yeah. MKJO says Friday Night Fights, Friday Night Videos. Yeah, Friday Night Videos. I was on. You would have Carson, then Letterman, then Friday Night Videos.
Yeah, and then here's something why people don't understand about TV. around here after Friday night videos, the TV got turned off. No, I don't mean like at the house. I mean the signal. There was no shows late at night. You either get static or the national anthem and a flag.
Yep.
Or snow. I mean, that was it. I mean,
after
TV was
Friday night
off.
videos, man,
Yeah,
you would get the national anthem and then
you're done.
nothing until like 6 a.m. There was nothing on TV.
6 a.m. till the news or something come on, man.
Yep.
Yeah, the signals were shut off.
There was nothing.
Ain't that strange to think of that? Like you wouldn't imagine now your cable shutting off just because it was late at night, or the internet shutting off because it was late at night. That was normal back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was part of the plot of Poltergeist and KJO throughout their here line. But if you remember, that was actually part of the plot for Poltergeist, was the fact that the TV went off the air. Because that's when they would start hearing shit through the TV, through the white noise.
What was it? Was it 105? Was it 105 or was it 205 when TV shut off?
It depended on what night of the week it was. Because I know NBC Friday night videos came on at what, like 1:30, and they ran till like 3. So on Friday nights it was till 3 o'clock, but other nights of the week it would be like 1 o'clock in the morning. The NBC channel in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, even ours on the weekend, like Friday night. I think maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock was the most. I don't think we had anything that went 3 o'clock.
Sunday nights, our local NBC affiliate, after the news went off, they would play like a 2-hour block of Hogan's Heroes, 2.5-hour block of Hogan's Heroes every Sunday night. So it went from, 1.5 hour, excuse me, because it went from 11:30 to 1, and then at 1 o'clock.
I do know. I remember when we did get cable though, real quick. It was only $12 a month.
So, Jason, it was 2 o'clock at your house. It was 3 o'clock in Rich's house because he's Eastern and you're Central.
No, he's Eastern too.
No, I'm Eastern. Just with smaller towns. Every town had different, cable and stuff around here. Like I said,
whenever my dad was a kid, he told the story. What?
Right.
Anyways, he tells the story of his cousin coming over, his parents are real strict Pentecostals and didn't allow TV in their house. And the first time he ever came over in the summer and stayed the night, Dad went in the living room at like 3 a.m, and Gary was sitting in there just staring at the TV, and it was just snow on. But he'd never had a TV before, so he was just amazed by it and just sat there and watched it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day.
Lady up there. Sorry.
Hey, I want piggyback right up there.
Yeah, Gary said after 1 a.m. there was one station that was still on the air. It was a UHF station. Yeah, we had one UHF station would still been on the air too. It was WPGH, which eventually became the Fox affiliate in Pittsburgh. They would still be on the air, and they would show like old reruns of different TV shows. But then on Sunday, they still went off the air Sunday nights too. Sunday nights, there was no TV station that was running in Pittsburgh if you didn't have cable. All the over-the-air stuff was done at 1 a.m. on Sundays. And then at like 4 o'clock in the morning on, I don't know if it was WPGH or if it was Channel 22, they were the first ones that came back on. They had the 700 Club on at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, he said the all night station in Kansas City had late night movies. They also had, it was also the first time that he saw Elvira. Yeah, WPGH, they showed late night movies but on Friday nights, but every other night it was just old TV, classic TV reruns. Like they would show the Andy Griffith Show and the Munsters, Adam's Family, that kind of stuff. But then Friday nights they would have like 2 o'clock in the morning. They'd show some old horror movie or something.
Yeah, we used to have that show. Velvira. Yeah, you know, they show like creatures of the Black Lagoon and Dracula and
Yeah, kind of like
werewolf,
Svengoolie.
stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Svengoolie now on MeTV. He shows it's basically that kind of old schlock host show where he shows like the old sci-fi and monster movies and horror movies and stuff.
You know, Elvira is really a redhead.
Yeah, I've seen her without her wig and stuff. Yeah, Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, I remember Tales from Dark Side.
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, well, they had Tales from the Dark Side, and then there was Tales from the Crypt. You know, they made a Tales from the Crypt kids cartoon show at one point. It was on.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
It was on. Fox, I think it was either Fox Kids or the Kids WB back in the early '90s, and it was hosted by the Crypt Keeper. Yeah, the Crypt Keeper was a Muppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was designed and manufactured by Jim Henson Productions.
Yeah, Creep Show was some good stuff.
Yeah, that was based on a Stephen King novel. Either that or he wrote the script. I forget which one. I know Stephen King wrote it. It was either one of his books that was one of his anthology books, or he had wrote the script specifically for the movie. I forget which one it is. You'd be surprised how many people don't realize that he wrote Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was under his alternate pen name Richard Bachman. He wrote Shawshank and Stand By Me. Those are both Stephen King movies.
I like that Shawshank movie. They filmed it over here at the prison here, about a half hour away from me.
This silence brought to you by I don't know what.
I'm back.
Are you
Blame
sure?
it all on Rob.
Yeah, it's Rob's fault.
Yep. Sorry. Just had to scrub a sneaker, stuck on a pile of dog crap when I was carrying the lady. This town's gone to shit.
Are you sure that's what it was, or you just don't want to admit that she threw up on you?
Oh, no. She didn't throw up.
I'll puke.
She stuck her foot up his ass.
Rare.
Oh, boy. Sorry about that. Yeah, I couldn't. You guys wouldn't have been able to hear me or whatever if I was unmuted. She was out having some drinks, some fun with some friends. And she was all tipsy. I figured I'd go escort her back.
Isn't that a good husband?
Not mine. Mine would have just left me there to fend for myself.
That's why
Apparently
I said
all the weirdos are out tonight.
Is it a full moon?
I don't know. I didn't think to look.
Bernie's out there. He's late, but he's out there.
Better late than never.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary says Midnight sent his links out, and I just checked, and he has. So do we want to keep going, or do we want to wrap this up so people can go over to Midnight's?
It's only midnight.
Night's just starting for me. Your call.
You don't work tomorrow?
Nope. Technically, I gotta fix a mirror on a Mercedes, but that's it. I don't really count that as work.
Mm-hmm. So, what are we going to talk about now? Seems like everybody stopped talking about TV out in the chat. Now what the hell are you drinking? That didn't look like a Corona.
The same thing, and
Opening
just
a new
in a
one.
fancy glass.
No glass. Just mess on the counter.
You need to put some red food coloring in that for no reason whatsoever, just because.
Nah.
How'd you get all that sugar in them straight lines like that?
No, I've had a motto my whole life, and the only thing white I mess with is females.
Now, see what you got to do. You got to
That's
get
not
some
true.
of them plastic. You got to get some of them plastic Halloween vampire fangs. Put those in. Put some red food coloring in that. Take the label off and go outside and freak everybody that's acting like a bunch of morons out.
See, he said the only thing white he messes with is females, but you know he eats that white chicken.
If he's going
The
to
other
Chick-fil-A,
white meat.
That's a low blow, man.
you go into Chick-fil-A with that gift card Gary sent you.
I don't even have a Chick-fil-A. So it's probably going to be a gift from one of my lucky customers.
Or save it for when you go to Rod, and there might be a Chick-fil-A somewhere on your way.
Ain't they got Chick-fil-A.com?
He's Googling right now to find out if there's a Chick-fil-A between him and the Rod and Iron Festival.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure there is.
It's a hell of a prize, though. Gotta admit.
What, did you win Gary's prize, Rob?
Yeah, he won on
I
Friday.
sure did.
Rigged.
It was the first time it wasn't rigged, if you can believe it.
Yeah, we were joking around. We were joking around about Rob winning, and then when it came time for the giveaway, Rob won.
Yeah. I don't think you don't win nothing very often, do you, Rob? Or really don't enter much, do you?
No, I don't enter a lot. So yeah, and obviously
What are
you
you
got to be
talking
in it
about?
to win it. So
You won Guns and Barbecues giveaway. I don't know what you're talking about. And then you just
you
won a
won
Glock
that
sticker.
and gave it to me.
I don't know what you're talking about. If you ask Guns and Barbecue, he will tell you you won it.
Hell, I won.
Mm-hmm.
I won something
Are you
from
looking
Guns and
for
Barbecue, and I gave it
PC
to
points or
MKJ.
something?
Was it Guns and Barbecue? I won the barbecue rub or something from, and I gave it to MKJO.
I don't know. But I do know Barbecue even sent me a second prize. So it seems like, he's brown nosing for some reason. I don't know.
Bernie says he just got home from another bird hunt. No fowl was injured in the shoot due to his terrible aim.
Oh, that's no good.
What were you using? A 22?
He
Probably
was
trouble
using
leading them.
Come on, man.
he was
You gotta
using
get
a
up that
12
game.
gauge.
You got up that game, Bernie. Come on, man. Was it Bernie that was asking about putting a red dot on a shotgun the one night for bird hunting?
Idea. No, I've shot clays with my Mossberg 500 with an 18-inch barrel. So it's got a bead sight on the front. I did pretty well with it. So, yeah, I know it's probably different than birds, but I don't know. I wonder how many shots he got to take.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Sounds like somebody had a drink or two.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or a few.
Or a few. Okay. We can go that way out too. She's not dressed like a vampire, is she, Rob?
Yeah, it's hard to shoot in the wind. We'll give you that.
And he just went live.
Yeah. And he was using a 20 gauge, but it was very windy. And Snob says you don't aim a shotgun, you point it when
Look at
shooting
your
at anything
ass.
flying.
I love you.
Well, we love you too.
I'm not doing anything.
You're lying. You're putting me on YouTube. I don't wanna.
No, I wouldn't do
You're
that.
lying. Where is your mute button?
She's like me. I get really like giggly like that whenever I get tipsy or drunk.
Rob's gonna be in
Wrong
so
with that.
much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Snob doesn't trust me on live shows if I'm tipsy or drunk.
Oh boy.
I don't know why. I mean, I've only heard what happened in the backstage.
Shit, she's been on this show drunk before.
I don't know what you're referring to, D23.
Oh, uh-huh.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Oh, the good old days when I used to get drunk.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, we all know what happened on Snob Show behind the scenes because Snob was giving us a play-by-play that night. That was in the after chat. So anybody out there in the chat other than Snob and Gary, you guys were on the outside looking. You had no idea what was going on.
I don't recall that.
So I see Snobby wants to come on with his own private link and talk about something.
No,
I think that's what he was
does not.
saying
He
out
does
in the
not.
crowd.
He does not.
Well, according to Gunpowder, the only time she ever gets pregnant is when they have moonshine. So she must have had a lot of moonshine lately.
There's nothing to hear in this show. I didn't record any of that.
You're a fucking liar.
Well, he isn't lying. He didn't record it. Now, what Rick does, on the other hand, is a whole different ballgame.
YouTube does it automatically. I have nothing to do with it.
Rob, did you eat all the strawberries again?
No, but I might need security.
Yeah, we're just gonna let you get beat for that one. We don't care.
He's Bernie's saying that the game wardens want to film on his property the show called Lone Star Law, but it got moved to another day because of bad weather. I think I've heard of that show before. It's one of those ones that's on like one of the Discovery networks or something. If that's the show I'm thinking of, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's where they go after like poachers and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to get off here and call it a week.
You got work in the morning.
Yeah, it's been a tough one. I'm kind of worn out.
Yeah.
But thanks for the invite. Good to see everybody.
Any possibility
Have a great
doing
night,
a show
Jason.
again?
One at a time.
Yeah.
Any possibility of ever, doing a show again?
Oh, one of these days. One of these days I will.
All right. Have a good night, hon.
I will. Thanks. Yeah, but good to
Have a
see
good
y'all,
night,
man.
Jason.
Thanks for the invite, Rich.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all later. This is EG.
Yeah.
Rob.
Have a good
Chin
night.
up.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it during the show, but his doggy died yesterday, so he's a little upset about that when he jumped on earlier before we went live.
And then it didn't help that his football team got spanked by a Pac-12 team yesterday.
Yeah, and then he was watching the Cleveland game today, and then Cleveland. They were winning the game, and then they threw it away at the end. I told him, what else does he expect? I mean, it's Cleveland. They're going to Cleveland. It's just what they're going to do. Cleveland is their own worst enemy.
How many people are even out there anymore?
We've got MKJO out there. Stacy's out there. It says there's 4 watching on StreamYard. I don't know if Snob's just lurking and Bernie are still lurking. It's been a while since either one of them said anything. Yeah, I think we probably start wrapping this up anyway. Yep, Snub's still lurking. He just said he is.
Yeah, but who cares about him?
Yeah, MKJ. So at least it was against Kansas City, not a chump team. Yeah, the Steelers almost lost to a chump team, but I think they were spotting Buffalo 3 quarters, because in the 4th quarter they just turned it on and they beat them 23-16 after scoring 20 unanswered points. Anyway, God, I can't quit yawning. I think it's time to wrap this up. I might end up falling asleep here. Rob, anything you want to say before we get out of here, if you're able to?
Yeah. Shut that shit.
Yeah, perfect timing. I got to go.
Yeah, you do. Get to go. Good night.
It's been fun. You just have
Yes.
All right, you two, go have fun, I guess. That's what it sounds like is going to happen.
She
G23,
sounds like me.
what were you going to say, Stace?
That she sounds like me.
Anything you want to say before we get out of here, G23?
Well, thanks for the invite, and I'm gonna attempt to get a video out sometime this week, and I'll be doing my live stream more likely than not on Saturday.
Okie doke. Thanks for jumping on. What about you, Stacy? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, not really.
Okay. You're sure.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah. And KJO says, no, Bills are no slouches. Steelers always started slow. Yeah, but not that slow. Usually they're doing something by the second quarter. They didn't do anything until like the very end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. And at that point, it was all Steelers. It was 10-0 late in the third, very early in the fourth before the Steelers scored. And like I said, they put up 20 unanswered and then won the game. The final score was 23-16. So, yep. Anyway, that'll do it for tonight. You got something you wanted to say?
No, I just hit the button.
Oh, okay. I saw you hit the button and I was waiting. Okay. And then you didn't say anything. So.
G23 left, so I was like, oh, now it's down to 2. That was all.
Yeah. He probably got tired of the football talk. He dropped out earlier. He might have been having trouble still.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, that'll do it for tonight. We will see you all again sometime during the week, depending on who has the show. Maybe Wednesday during Rick's Wednesday show, or if not, then definitely Gary's show on Friday, barring any unforeseen issues. And then again, then we'll be back here Saturday night for the wrestling show, and then Sunday night for this show. So until then, we will see y'all later. Have a good night, folks.